I'm Mesha Mosley here at the Overseas Basketball Connection Indianapolis Combine. I have here with me Bria Goss.
Yes.
She was Miss Indiana, Miss Basketball Indiana,
Yep.
and an All-American. Just to put that out there, okay?
McDonald's All-American.
Okay, McDonald's. Emphasis on the McDonald's.
Emphasis.
So she's just here to talk to us a little bit about her journey as a player and about the Black Lives Matter situation that's going on
Of course.
in athletics today.
Yep.
So first I wanted to ask you about, I know you've seen the WNBA and NBA boycotts that are going on right now.
Yep.
How do you feel about the way that athletes have began to use their platforms to really speak out about different social injustices that they're facing?
I mean, you know, there's so much work to be done already, and I know that it's not something that we're going to be able to do overnight, but it is something that I think we're finally starting to take the right steps, and you do see the consistency with it. It is something that, you know, I definitely pray about daily, but as far as the NBA and the WNBA, who's basically leading from the front right now, and the back too, even the people that decided to opt out and things like that, they are doing the things necessary. They're doing their part. Now we just got to make sure that we're doing ours. And I know, like I said, it's not something that can change overnight, but we're demanding change. You know, I know a lot of the Fever girls, and just being around them, hearing, you know, what they want to do for the community, for the gay community, whatever they believe in, they always are in it to win it. You know what I mean? So they are demanding that change.
So what are some ways that you yourself have been involved in the fight for justice for Black lives?
Well, one, I'm a huge advocate on social media. So I'm constantly, I actually do more like the calling out, you know, the people that are silent, the people that have said racist things to me, the people that who just need to be called out. And I actually have a white brother-in-law, and he had posted something yesterday, and I was like, ooh, okay, bro, you're going harder than me right now. Let me step up my game. And just being able, I'm talking to a lot to the youth. You know what I mean? Just anybody and everyone that will be able to listen. I'm going organizations, and I know, like with COVID and things, I'm doing a lot of Zoom meetings, speaking like just like this, you know, just being able to talk and things like that. So I know there's probably so much more that I should be doing, but I'm really focusing in on the youth.
What would you like to see moving forward, whether it be from the youth, from the government, from police forces, from just people in general, athletes? What would you like to see change moving forward?
I guess the cliche answer would be to see everyone come together, but I don't know if that's possible. You know what I mean? I think before we even come together, I think we as our Black community need to come together first.
Right.
You know, make sure we're doing the things necessary to get us Black-owned businesses. That's all I'm investing in. You know, when Antonio hit me up with this, I was like, of course I'm coming. You know what I mean? Not to say if he was white I wouldn't, but at the same time, if there's anything I can do for our community, I'm doing it. I was with a company called American Income, which is basically life insurance policies. I was talking to the Black community like, listen, this is what it is. Let me help you here. You know, it wasn't even about the money. It was just solely about making sure people are educated and doing the things that they need to be doing. If we can get us as a community to grow and to learn and to just spread, then I think that's when we're going to see that unity between all the nations.
Let's switch gears to you and your journey. You went from winning 2 state championships in high school, being named Miss Basketball Indiana, being freshman of the year at Kentucky.
Yeah.
And after that, after you graduated, you kind of went through a period where you maybe didn't know what was going to happen.
Yeah.
You went undrafted until the overseas season had already started. So in that time where you were faced with uncertainty, did you have doubts about your future as a hooper? Or if not, what did you do to prepare in that time for whatever opportunity might have come for you?
Let me tell you, because, okay, so after all that summer between, you know, graduating and actually my first pro was just a time of uncertainty, you know, and I need stability. Like, and I was young, like there was just so many things going through my mind. I wasn't super in tune with my faith then. it was a time where I was losing my mind. So just going through, not the motions, but making sure I'm here on the court every day and doing those things necessary. But I mean, I didn't think I was going to play basketball anymore.
Wow.
And the way that it actually got started was my friend, Portia Green, we grew up together, work out all the time. She played in Finland. And so one of her old teammates hit Portia up. It was like, hey, you know, I know it's late, but do you know anybody or recommend anybody? So Portia put in my name. So I signed the contract on that Tuesday. 2 days later, I left, and then 2 days after that, I played my first pro game. So, and I dropped 25. So I guess that's no, okay, I'm not. So just being able to see exactly, you know, how that transpired is actually probably what really got me with my faith. If I never even knew Portia, she would have never plugged me, which I would probably, you know what I mean? So things like that don't line up just because. And I mean, I went over there, and it's cold, but if you've never been to Finland, go in the summer. But it was a successful year, but that's actually when I actually had to leave early because that's when they found out that I actually had a tumor in my uterus. So the whole month of February, I was exhausted. I mean, I was bleeding every single day. And so because of that, my hemoglobin was low. They took me to the hospital after the 30 days, and then they found the tumor. So I actually went home. They said it was benign. And then come to find out after my first surgery, because they needed to shrink it and things like that, once they finally did, they took it out, they sent it to the lab, and it actually came back cancerous. Wow. And so that conversation went from, you know, you can have kids, we just need to make sure it's small enough so it doesn't put a lot of damage on the uterus, to now because it's cancerous, it's going to come back 80% more aggressive, and because of that, we're going to have to just take out the whole thing. So I had the hysterectomy a week later, and I'm so sorry, I was not, and I mean, because, when the doctor is saying things like hysterectomy and cancer, you know, your life goes from just a normal, you know, I mean, we're trying not to get pregnant at some point.
Well, how old were you when that happened?
24.
Wow.
24,
so
and
you
so.
Had a hysterectomy at 24.
Yep. And I mean, now granted, people can't just take out a lung. They can't take out their heart. They can't take out a brain. I can live without a uterus. But when you're thinking like, okay, now all of a sudden you're not able to have your own children at the age of 24, it goes from, I mean, I just felt completely broken, just completely worthless, just completely, I didn't feel like a woman anymore.
Right.
What man wants to deal with a woman who can't bear his kids? You know what I mean? So, of course, I went through all those motions, and I'm in a lot better space now.
So you talked a little bit about your faith. Is that what kind of got you through those moments?
Oh, let me tell you. Because, I mean, I had pushed it in the back of my mind as if it didn't even happen. Right. Like, that didn't happen. I'm still fine. I'm 100% okay. I had to actually, like, face, like, exactly what happened head on so that I could start the healing process. If it wasn't without the grace of God, I wouldn't have been able to make it. Wow. I wouldn't have been able to make it. It was something that once you are literally on your knees because you feel like you have nothing or you have nothing else to give, God is the one that's going to be able to pick you up. So I kind of took that, and like I'm shaking right now. I just kind of took that and just made sure that I'm doing the things that I need to do faithfully, and every day just kind of got a little better. You know, I had to look in the mirror. I had to start saying it out loud. I had to, you know, talk to my friends about it, talk to my mom about it. Even though they have no idea exactly how I was feeling, I didn't feel like I could talk to them.
Right.
But because I just started saying it and just started believing that I was still worthy of love and just worthy of being able to be, you know, capable. I mean, I beat cancer, you know, at the end of the day. And it's just been an amazing journey that I have now with God and my faith and loving Him.
I love that. Like, that just made me so warm inside.
It is.
I'm about to get my Bible right now.
And I'm so sorry. I know this is probably not like, you know, I don't want to turn it into a sermon, but it's a testimony. Like, I literally went from nothing to just being able just to trust in God and all my, I mean, even though I'm still not exactly where I want to be basketball wise, I'm just going to put it in his hands and things are going to work out. Things are going to work out. I got cut from the Fever after an amazing, I mean, even after that, went back to ball. We won a championship. I went to Israel for a couple years. I got signed with the Fever for their training camp. Had an amazing time. Loved the organization. Got cut. But now I'm a Fever broadcaster. I am the analyst for the Fever. Like, that's exactly what I want to do.
Right.
And if it hadn't been for that opportunity, you know, I would have never been able to do it. So just being able to trust in God is just where I fall.
So that kind of brings me to my next question for you. A lot of players here are trying to get a second chance or even trying to get their first chance. What advice do you have for people who might be experiencing a little bit of doubt or uncertainty about where their career is going?
Yeah. If you really want to do it, you know, if you are able to take the punches and the failures, the adversity, and they're still able to get back up the next day and still work as hard as you did that same day, the day before, then you can do it. You know, and it's not going to look like, you know, what you think. I mean, you really see, you know, Little League to AAU to high school to college to pro. That's not how it goes. It's literally just, you're just going up and down on an emotional roller coaster, just making sure that, you know, you have to take care of your body, of course, but if you believe you can do it, then just go and do it, you know? And if it doesn't happen, if you're still reaching for the stars, even though it doesn't happen, other things are gonna unfold.
Yep.
Other things are gonna unfold. So it's okay if you don't, but if that's what you wanna do, I still believe to this day, I'm about to be 28 in a few days, I know. Still young, but
You don't look like
okay. But I still wanna play in the WNBA. And that's what I'm gonna do. That's just what I have just made up my mind that that's what is going to happen. So how am I working every day to do that? Because one day is it's one day step closer to my dreams, but it's also one day step closer to me not playing basketball anymore. So I have this time, what am I gonna do with it? I think that with the journey that I've had, it was a little dramatic. So God, thanks, but no thanks. But it's something that I have set my mind to because of my journey. Right. I beat cancer. What else can I do? You know what
Anything,
I mean? Exactly.
At this point.
Exactly. So, and that's just how I feel. You know.
Okay, well, thank you so much
Of course.
for talking to me.
Yes.
Bria Goss, everyone.